Funny text. This song that I'm listening to. Someone says, just with my hand I can stop the light and leave a long shadow of darkness. Okay, what was this about? I'll make your function for standard set equal range. Why not? What a useless error. It basically says absolutely nothing. Ah, fuck, yeah. I bet I didn't even mention this, right? Oh, I did. Well, I tried to find that, but I couldn't. Hmm. Hello, Vincent. Am I going to get type index? This seems to be already push constant, or what the hell is this? It's used in push constant. Not that push constant, I doubt it. This push constant. Yeah. I'm afraid the type should have already been added to this then. Probably, pretty much standard type index. I think it's in the FAQ in the description. Yeah, pretty much. Since 1976, I guess. But there was no standard. There was no C++ standard back then. I doubt there was even C++. So all this modern C++ I picked up in the last, well, I don't know, mostly since 2011. That's when standard C++ 11 came out, which was a huge change. Also in the, I mean, the title says, please read the description. Now you ask a question, that is in the description. Hi, Chase. Yeah, base class has to be done first. No, let's put it there. Of course, before the... It's afternoon here. Return, thank you. beeping, twing. So now the push constant has, I don't even know why I'm adding a accessor, but I think I probably don't need it, but well. Okay. Something is not right. I'm not getting this. Oh, it is added to the push constant declaration context. No, nonsense. Push constant. Same type as here, of course. Linking undefined reference to operator less than. Oh wait. No, it's just a pointer to the type info. Oh, sneaky. I think I moved this to the front or something. It would be nice if it just told me what the constructor was, but oh. Yeah. Why did it just that? So gotta be that way. That. No. Yeah, wait. That 1, 2. Offset all size. This can be deleted again. No, linked. Yeah, I don't know, man. Let's try this one first. Okay, it seems to work. That one already columns. Not good, not good. Okay, I don't know what a column is. Seems not to be an assert. Run in GDB. Hello, Marijuana. It is crashing in standard copy. This is a vector of length on capacity 1, and therefore I should be able to access index 0. Which then is a pointer to a const standard vector of push constant range. So that will give me this arrow here, and I can also call begin. Begin and arrow, begin and end should work. You have only one input vector, so you're going to copy begin to append it to storage 0i. Let me see if I can print it at least. This looks strange. This looks like the dereferenced. There should be an iterator, and it's like it prints a dereferenced thing of that. Why? That doesn't make sense. That does not make sense. I would say the DDB is screwing me. It's printing the contents while actually it's a pointer. Why? Doing the same thing here. No? To print iterator, there must be an iterator first. And it just prints the content of what the iterator is pointing to. Sometimes that's nice, and this time it's definitely confusing. And what is this? This should be the end iterator. So why on earth would I print the dereference of something that should never be dereferenced? Now this is probably the real error. Non-dereferenceable iterator. Yeah, well, this is also non-dereferenceable, if you ask me. Strange things are going on here. I have absolutely no clue why this is not working. Yeah, that's not working. I need a back inserter. That's a problem. We need a back inserter. How does that work? Back inserter. And just put back inserter around it. Oh yeah, exactly like this. Oh, this is missing. So instead of begin, standard back inserter. Right, and where was the problem then? Where did we crash? Copy as... Yeah. Damn it. Errors. Okay, it looks like it's working, but got a lot of errors here. I guess same error every time. VK shader stage, vertex bit, shader stage fragment bit. VK push constant range in pipeline layouts 0, overlapping offset 8 and size 4 do not contain. VK shader For each byte in the range specified by offset and size, and for each shader stage in stage flags, there must be a push constant range in a layout that includes that byte and that stage. Let me fix my music because there's vocals in it again. It's all horrible these days. Well, very unclear, but I think that this is the flags that I pass. And I believe then that it says that the layout doesn't have those flags. Well, I guess. I'm just gonna run it in GDB, I guess. Again. To see the exact contents, so what are the function that results in this validation error. Hello, Omnic. Up. Up. It takes a long time. That is something else. This is what during creation of the pipeline itself. Push constant is used in the vertex bit of the pipeline factory. Of pipeline factory AddShader input data.AddShader module vertex. aka 1, this. Let's translate that in the push constant is used in the vertex shader, but the pipeline layout doesn't set that bit. Okay, something is wrong with that pipeline layout. And the pipeline layout is 2, which is this thing here, which is in pipeline layout 0. Okay, whatever. Which was created getting that handle. Create the pipeline layout with key first, some sort of binding flag, some sort of binding descriptor type, text flags, fragment. I'm not getting it. Yeah, let me think. Uh, what do you mean, Omnic? I think I want to see this debug output. I try it in a different. empty. I'm passing a push constant ranges vector that is entirely empty. And that would cause those errors, I suppose. Let's put a breakpoint here. Step through this brand new function that is returning nothing. Or maybe begin with a little bit of debug output. Let create info cat. Well, let's print at this pointer, why not? Oh, I don't think I can print it actually. This thing is a well, it's something. Oh, it's even locked. I mean, I can print a vector, so I can print a vector of vectors, but then it's just going to print pointers. That's not useful. Plus, the thing is locked. Ping, ping. Let's print it here, then at least I have something that is unlocked. Okay, loop over all elements in this range. Auto something. I don't know what is in it. That's a vector. I get those pointers. That's the element that I have. What's all that here? I. Let's call it something else. Okay, yeah, I'll see you, Omnic. Pretty sure that this doesn't work. I cannot print these push constant ranges yet, so I have to add that. Oh, I can. Okay. I'm already printing this though. So I don't even know how. What? I never added it. Yeah, well. Okay, first one. Next. No, I'm not printing this space. Offset. Oops. And the last one is M side, wasn't it? M size. Totally. But can we print this? I don't think so, but we can try. No, we cannot. Still vulkan library. Nobody knows what that is. Autocloud some stuff sometimes. Hey, Evans, yeah. Evans did some nice work here. So I just ripped this and then wrote my README. Well, the Ubuntu part anyway. He tested it out for Ubuntu. And ever since I didn't see him anymore. I think he's mad at me for ripping it. I just did what he said. See if you use it or whatever you want to do with it. Something like that, he said. Okay. What was I looking for? Standard. No, I can just Google it. Print standard index type. Probably not possible. Yeah, that's all clear. I think it's implementation dependent, of course, but it seemed that in my case that it is just a type ID or pointer to type info actually. And that has a name. So I could print the name of the type info. So yeah, then I definitely have to convert backwards. So let's say convert standard type index to that. Hello, developer. Trying to find out how to go back from a standard type index to a standard type info. It says it is a wrapper clause. Does it tell me how it wraps it? Totally not. Oh, wait. Well, this prints type names. Yeah, that's a bit vague. Type names is just filled with the name in advance, or even what random strings here. I'm just going to interpret it as a pointer. I believe that worked. I mean, totally not portable, but hey. That means that which part didn't compile? This is not compiling, and I'm going to do something dirty. Namely, this is 8 bytes big, so I'm doing a reinterpret cast to standard type info pointer. It's probably not even allowed. Name. Invalid cast from type index to, well, watch me do it, damn it. I know, let's begin with whatever you want. You want a pointer called pointer, and then we just print it. Pointer. That should work. Now I need to fill pointer with the contents of that thing. To standard mem copy. Always forget how that works. No. Let's go to mem copy. Destination source count. Destination source count. Yeah, I even put that in. No, that's just size of pointer. Didn't look good. No match for operator and shader stage flags. Well, it's a totally different problem, so my hackery worked. Well, compiled, I mean. I'm gonna crash on it in a minute, just a minute. Include a vk utils /flags.h. Just guessing. Yeah, you guessed wrong. The vk utils is correct. vk utils. Print, is it print, I think. Print flags. Could have known that. Developer is asking something. What game inspired you played when you were young that made you want to make games? if that was a thing. Well, I'll translate what you asked. What game inspired you when you were young to want to make games? None. I lived before computers even existed, right? So the first thing that came on the market that was programmable was a programmable calculator. So of course you had at some point you had calculators that could do multiplication and division even, and addition. So you typed in a number and then times another number equals, and you had to wait a whole second, and then it had calculated the product. An uncle of me worked in the research laboratory of Philips, and he had always his hands on super new gadgets. And at some point they made a programmable calculator. Now you have to think about something that has like 8 variables, and you can type in instructions like pop variable, push variable, print variable, or add. I guess it must have had a if maybe, and it was even a go to, I guess. So you could have a label and then go to. So, but total amount of memory was such that the whole program could not be longer than 10 instructions at the most. But we would visit him, and I would take that calculator, and I would be happy the whole evening. Yeah, so that's I just liked it. Programmable things. It's all adventure. And when my dad was going to buy a computer, and I already had a manual for it, the very first program that I wrote for that computer was a program that would calculate all the prime numbers under 256. Not related to a game. I was more interested in prime numbers than in games anyway, but there were no games. There were no PCs, let alone games. PCs came later. Now, if you ask why am I working on the Vulkan engine, that's something different than wanting to make games. But maybe I can answer you something in the direction of what you were asking. Because there's 2 reasons why I started writing this Vulkan engine. Firstly, I kind of started writing, that's why it's called Linux viewer. I kind of started writing my own Second Life viewer. So I've been living in Second Life for, I think, 10 years or so before I stopped. And all my friends were there, was my whole social life. And at some point I stopped, but it's still a lot of friends there, so... It's kind of why I started with this, I guess. But on the other hand, even before that, I started because I bought a Valve Index, a headset, to put on your head and see 3D world. And a game that they made that didn't work on Linux, so that's also why I wanted to program it myself. To see what is the problem on Linux that even Valve couldn't get it to work. No, you didn't listen. I lived in Second Life for 10 years. And that's why I wanted to write my own viewer. Yes, I was a viewer developer in also. I worked on many viewers in Second Life. But I didn't write them. The whole code is horrible. And just try to improve them against the horrible code stream from LinLab. Okay, wait, it compiled. I'm gonna run it. Of course, we still get errors, but now we should get some information somewhere. Well, I should have written it to the FRC, write it to a file, and then open the file. And then be in, I don't know. Nobody knows why I have that open. And then I went to this window. And then not understanding this window. And then search the word again. Okay, there it is. Now I have some output. I hope. Well, we should. But we don't. I think there's a brace missing here. Let's fix that anyway. What did I just add? This is what I want to look at, right? Oh, bloody hell. It's right in front of me. This stupid music got again vocals. Last time I switched, they had one word more vocal than I start playing music myself again from my hard disk. And then you guys will have to solve that too. No, it works. That is, it prints 12 push constant, but okay, I can ignore that 12. So the type is push constant. Seems that all the data is there. Yeah, yep. Right, so you see we have the vertex shader wants to see offset 8, size 4 and 12. And nobody knows why it first added 4 and then 12, but I guess, well, anyway, we'll just end up with this one. And then we have flags. I see what is going wrong. I think I see what is going wrong. I'm not sure yet. Not sure. But okay, we have offset 4, and then that jumped to 12 as well, overlapping this one. Yeah. I think the thing is, I think that at offset 4, we have, I think it only contains push constants. Push constant only contains floats. So the third float, size float is 4 bytes, offset 8. So we skip the first 2, and then the third float is being used, and then the fourth float we don't use, and the fifth float is again used in vertex, which would be offset 16 and size 4, but it combines them. So now the offset is 8 and the size is 12. So we have the third and the fifth in it, and the fourth one as well, but it's not being used here. And then here, the fragment one is using the second float and the fourth float, which you did skip here. Anyone that could follow what I said? So that's the input, and I think that's correct. Yeah, just go here. Yeah. So the vertex shader is using aspect scale and PC5, and the fragment shader is using PC2 and PC4. And therefore the vertex shader must use this whole range, and the vertex shader, fragment shader must use this range. It's a mess, of course, but that's deliberately. I want to test the code. And I can even verify that that is the case. See, it's using PC5 and aspect scale, just like I said, and the other one is using PC2 and 4. So yes, that's what is happening. And anything but returning an empty vector, of course. So something is wrong with the merge thing, the thing that nobody knows. Calls set union. So I want to put a breakpoint in the, immediately after we print it, so like here. Let create info.age 221. Okay, so it prints the same output again. Yeah, and then it's going to return nothing. Well, this list is not empty because I just printed it. So this is definitely false. Yep. Next. Then we make 2 vectors here in an array. And then the number of input vectors, that was 4. 1. Yeah, wait, that's this one. So this one vector contains 4 vectors, I think, or something. Are these each vectors? No. this is entry 0 of the list, so that's that one thing, and then this is a vector that is in it, I think. Yeah. So the size of this vector is 1, 2, 3, 4, but there is only one in it. I'm totally confused, I have to admit that. Yeah. Okay. Resize number of input vectors. Confusing. Now we're going to copy our input to storage 0, 0. With a back inserter. That's nonsense. I should not have resized it then. Huh? What? No. I resize it. Wait, resize it so that I can access that one. Then the back inserter is for the second vector. My God, so difficult. Let's print storage. Storage exists of two elements. The first element is has something in it, and the second one doesn't. That looks good. What it has is a size 1, so it has one element existing of a vector of size of length 4. And then we see the same data as we have printed here, namely offset 8 size 4, offset 8 size 12, offset 4 size 4, and offset 4 size 12. It first orders on the push constant, which is all the same, and then it orders on the flags. That's why vertex comes before fragment. There is nothing to sort on offset, but then we sort on size anyway, and so the size is first 4 and then 12. Next. Okay, now I have next. So now I have an input that is equal to a vector. Input is a vector of size 1. Yeah, something is not right here. Right? This is not what I want to see. Tell. Or is it correct? I don't think it is correct, or I don't know, maybe it is. It's probably correct, is it? I don't know. That's, my God, why is this mind-boggling difficult? Vectors of vectors. It's so confusing. Okay, anyway, output is empty. And then we do next as is 1. So need merge is equal to 1. So nothing to merge. We just have a single vector with stuff in it. Okay, I guess. So then we do push back that vector. Okay, which vector? We're going to move this. And that is that vector. Okay. And we're moving it into output, which was empty. So I do next. And now this should be empty. And it's not empty. That cannot be right. It just copied it. Well, not that I care, but hell, I moved it. Is this a temporary or something? Did I move a temporary? Oh, it's a dereference thing. Yeah, probably. Okay, that's difficult. So I have an iterator that points to something, and then I want to move the vector that it points to. Let's ignore that for now. The copy worked. Break. Now the output size now should be 1. Therefore, we stopped, I guess. Yeah, break. Cannot remember I saw the break, but not complaining. Thus, consolidated ranges is a vector of size 4. Still with the same content. And now we make a merge result. And then we do last type index equals nothing. And then we run over. Oh, equals. Why did nobody warn me? Waste of time. 286. Yeah, that's not running over, of course, like that. Let's just try it again. Elias, well, and I do not really have an overview, but when I was younger and I did have overviews of everything, the trick is not to think about it. How things worked by me was I just did it and I didn't try to remember anything. I didn't think about it or thought back about it, nothing. And then at the moment that you need some information, my subconscious would just tell me. Just, I don't know. I guess it just went effortless. And now I'm in a state where I continuously cannot remember something when I want to know it. Okay, it compiled again, so I'll just run it. Okay. Who knows? Nah, no validation errors. That was it. So this works. And that's good. And the other one also still works, of course. Yep. And now we go back to the test under test. And that crashes still. Well, we got further than before. Before this, it was complaining about push constants. Now it's complaining about shader model pointers. We have, of course, no idea if it works, but at least we get closer to actually be running. Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know if it worked. We'll have to wait and fix this one first, I guess. Well, as far as I know, I'm not even using a characteristic range yet. So this is highly confusing. Why we get here twice? I mean, I'm calling build shader for, well, a stage. I mean, shader info is being passed, isn't it? It's not. What? I'm passing shader index. Where's my shader info? Yeah, shader info. So the index converted to the info, and then the info is converted to the stage, vertex or fragment. And that is used as a key in this thing here, which is a map, I guess. An array even. So yeah, per shader stage module. And now we assign it, and then if we get here again for the same stage, then what? Then we are assigning the second module for the same stage. That cannot be right. Let's have a look at the debug output, how often this function is being called. First time we call it, it is being called for something number 3, compile a cache null pointer. Not very helpful. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, this IMQ. I should be able to ignore IMQ. Wait a minute, start at the top again. This was IMQ. And then I do next, and now we are here. Which is not IMQ anymore. Oh, no, it's not. This is squares. Oh, what? No. Well, it's a vertex shader called squares. I suppose it is. And then the next one is fragment here called squares. And then the next one is again the vertex here called squares. Hmm. Then frag 1. I understand the difference between frag 0 and frag 1 maybe, but this looks definitely like a duplicate. But even that one didn't crash it. No, finally IMG fragment is called. We're not done yet. And then we call squares vert again. And again and again and again and again. And again. And then finally at quadrants. Now I have no idea what's going on here, but that doesn't seem right to recompile or compile shaders that often in this program. I don't have that many. What the hell's going on? Bettini said cool stuff. Now I return to Unity 3D. Yeah, that is a funny remark. Probably wise. Vulkan is 20 times harder than OpenGL, I would say. I don't know OpenGL, but it has to be. So you can write 400 games in Unity against one game. Well, not a game, but it's something simple in Vulkan. What is going on here? What is going on here? No, one of my problems probably is that I did not know any graphics at all. I've mostly done networking on the high level and yeah, text-based programs, system development programs. Say, I wrote libraries to reduce the productivity of other C++ programmers. So there is no output involved at all. And then suddenly I want to dive into 3D graphics with the most modern interface of API for graphics cards. And I have to learn everything. I hardly knew what a vertex was 2 years ago. Yeah, I am. I worked on the Second Life viewer, but also only on the network robustness, the debugging, bug fixing. Which, I mean, if it crashes, I can find it, of course. There was some other coder that did all the graphic stuff. I was very good at it, by the way. Impressively good. Okay, what am I going to do here? I guess I could start with running it in the debugger and then see who the hell is calling build shader every time. I should abbreviate this, because what about RIG? Rig. Yeah, sounds good. Break build shader, right? Run. There is a call to build shader from. Is that helping us? This looks like IMGU. Compile shaders, IMGU pipeline characteristic compile shaders. Okay, let's ignore that one. Continue. Now we have this is the vertex pipeline characteristic range. Let's remember that. That this calls build shader. Well, it should. Maybe I want to see even how it looks where it calls it. Do we know which line number it is and stuff? It's frame 1. Compile the shaders. Yeah, so line 470. Let's see a bit of context here. So we have a state compile, and then it calls build shader exactly as it should, and then it's going to call it again here for the fragment shader. Well, no, it's not, because this is not defined. Continue. And then we get another call to build shader. That one is called from window fragment fragment pipeline characteristic range. Again, frame 1. Yeah, so the fragment pipeline characteristic range also has a compile, which then calls build shader for the fragment shader. I could also have pasted just a state that calls it, probably better. And as far as I know, that should be it. Because let's say fill index, that's a function or something. Mfill index, mfill index is 0 here, so I'm gonna do continue, and now we are again calling it. I think this is already surprising. And we are again in fragment pipeline characteristic range compile, but okay, maybe I have two different fragment shaders. Yeah, we have two pipelines, so I can still believe this one, but then the fill index should still be 0. Wait, frame 1. Oh, really? AddShaderStage. Okay, what backtrace? Yeah, now it's only frame 2. Before we were also in line 635, I suppose. 635, I think so, yeah. See, frame 1 is 635, and now it's frame 2. Well, okay. But definitely the same place again, and now mfill index is still 0. That's weird. That's just weird. Why would my fragment pipeline characteristic range task return with the same fill index twice in this line? That is not good. At least I don't understand it at all. I should look at this pointer, if this is the same task even. Start from the beginning. Okay, first call is here, and this pointer is that. Continue, and then we have that's probably frame. So the next one is this state, and this pointer is Continue. Better be different this pointer, because it should be a completely different task. And it is, yeah, different. Now, drum ruffle, continue. And now it's frame 2, is it? Guess it is. And this is again compile, and this pointer is that one. Yep. The same task. Fragment pipeline characteristic range is the task. And it's executing the state compile twice. The same task, because this pointer is that. And it didn't even increment the fill index. It said 0 in both cases, so this is definitely wrong. Definitely wrong. How the hell did that happen? What should have happened, if you look at the code, it said set continue state to fill, and then it runs compiled of the base class, which then should do something and then run that. But only after incrementing the fill index, or wait. Wait a minute. Continue state. I don't want to continue there. I don't want to continue. I want to stop. Well, not stop, but exit. Okay, I'm confused. Oh, okay. I'm starting to see the light a little bit. We don't stop. We have to wait. We have to wait for the pipeline factory to tell us what to do next. But maybe that's being done here. Let's have a look. Can assume that this is being run. So it tells the factory that it was compiled, and then it should wait. But that's what it does. Wait, yeah. Yeah, okay. And if we get the do fill signal, then we continue with characteristic range, continue or terminate, and now we're not terminated. So we set to continue state, which is then that fill, but then that's already after incrementing the mfill index. I'm not sure what goes wrong here. Let's try to grab in this something like running, maybe running something. What do we want to see? Yeah, I want to see running state multiplex slash. This is the one that is a bit weird, isn't it? Pipeline factory. No, well, I want to see the pipeline factory. That's true. Just use a standard regular expression. I want to see pipeline factory running, and I want to see the fragment pipeline characteristic range. So the pipeline factory starts, but you have two of them to make it easy. Yeah, okay, well, we do have two pipeline factories. Let's figure out which one we want to look at, I guess. Anyway, both run, both, well, this one says initialize, initialized, and the other one says initialize, initialized, and this one runs and begins with initialize, and then initialize, but that's some something. Oh wait, it's a pipeline factory again. Yeah, there's another one here. So at the very least, I want to see why this one starts running. I mean, one of the pipeline factories tells it to start running. Or not. Yes. Well, yes. How do I know which one? I don't think they wait on a signal here. They're just being started. I guess I could grab for... create, maybe? That was a bit wide. Create device, yeah. Create fence. Create image. Create buffer. That's what I want. Let's make it a little bit less AI stateful create, so you get just tasks that are created. And then we want to see the creation of, not of copy data to buffer, but again, yeah, command symbol updater, no pipeline, don't really care when the pipeline is, of who the pipeline factory is creating, who creates a pipeline factory. Cache, more cache, move pipelines, also not interesting. Create another copy to data. Okay, that's scary. So this thing not created? It is running. Why would it not be created? Okay, that's idiot. Impossible. Maybe the name is different. I think the name is just different. Nick is back. The name is different. Yeah, and the vocals are back, so yeah, this is the name that I use for the class, and then apparently not the same. Something totally different. Oh, it is derived from it. So derived from characteristic, which is derived from characteristic range, and that's what we see. So this is what is being created. I don't see that anyway. Should I just see that? Creation is not printed. No, so weird. In that case, the whole create is useless. Okay. Again, something nobody understands. How can this task be waiting without even having run? I'm missing something. No, no, it's I have no idea what is going on here. I'll have to look at the full file. Maybe then I have enough debug output. Or there's really debug output missing. It's also possible, of course, but not getting it. Start is creating the cache and running it, so that's not interesting. Initialize is creating the move new pipelines task and running it, also not interesting. Initialize is running the characteristics. Well, they have already been created in apparently. But yeah, I guess it's not possible to see which is starting it unless I look at the run output. Run is being printed, pretty sure of that. Can do an attempt to that. Let me record this run. So you have initialized and then it starts immediately after that 3 tasks. 3 tasks. Okay, we have 3 tasks. Why do I have 3 tasks? 3 characteristics. Right. Well, I don't know. Let's look at all of them. Add-on is not mentioned at all on this one. That one is, but what is it? That is the fragment pipeline characteristic range. Oh, the other one is the base, of course. Yeah. I should just grab characteristics and we get way more interesting stuff. Forget range, forget pipeline, show me all the characteristics. And really, I'm only interested in what happens after after that. So you're running pipeline factory initialized, which then starts 3 things. Now I need to be able to see all 3. No, I don't. That's amazing. Really, so strange. Ah, I'm only adding 2. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I'm confused with my texture test. This one only has 1 characteristic here. But anyway, it does have characteristic in it. So why is that not being shown? Not being shown at all, as if it doesn't even run. That runs. This should be a base pipeline characteristic initialize and there the base class also characteristic. Why is that not printed then? Yeah, there it is. Oh, that's, wait, no, that's at state. I'm not looking for every line. No, I'm not. I'm an idiot. No, wait, I am. No, this should work. Well, no. No, it's not. I mean, it is. Finally. So this one starts base pipeline characteristic and vertex pipeline characteristic range and fragment characteristic range. No, I'm not even sure if both crash, so let's look very hard for crash. Here happens thread pool 01. While running this running this, yeah. That task is crashing. Therefore, let's print everything, that as well. Huh? So clearly this one is being run by that task. And there must be some kind of interaction between those two. I think I guess I can just ignore everything else then. So let's not print and the run is not showing it, or is it? I don't think that it is showing it. I'm not sure about the rest, but pipeline factory initialized. Running that task. Running state. Oh wait. Oh wait, it's way late. Oh no, damn it. Yeah, I have to. Sorry. Can I do that here? Time. No, that wasn't good. That wasn't good at all. So motherboard is there, yeah. What 6, 7. It falls down here, so I don't know. Probably didn't miss anything, although. Yeah, a bad day. Yeah, well, I've seen it before. And then the next day it's up again. It's, well, whatever. Huge losses. The only downside is that, you know, we're in front of a recession. And with my luck, it's going to crash. The stock markets will completely crash while I hold his stock. Yeah, even then, I don't care. It's gonna recover eventually. I'll just wait a year. Then I don't have to watch the stock market anymore every day. That's worth something. Yeah, okay, so what I was trying to figure out here is why this is vertex pipeline characteristic. Okay, so compile. That one is called a bit too often, apparently. The second time, third time, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Did we start here? I think so. Yeah, cha. Okay, so this thing starts around because it gets a signal do compile. And that is called by thread pull 3, which is the pipeline factory. I have no idea why I'm seeing this one. Oh, I'm still doing that. Wait, this is not... No, it's not the right grep, is it? Guess I scrolled up too high. Okay, so the thing runs initialize first, that's correct. And then it waits for do fill. And it tells the pipeline factory that it is initialized, and then it waits for the do fill signal. And then here we get the do fill signal. And that causes it to run continue or terminate, which then sets state to the next one that we want to run, which is fill. And then we run that. It hardly does anything. Okay, we call range filled, set the state to continue or terminate again, and we wait for do preprocess. Now we get do preprocess signal. We run again continue or terminate, which sets the state to preprocess, which is then being run. And then we wait for do compile. And then you get the signal do compile. We run again, well, we continue running, so continue or terminate, which sets the state to compile and then runs the compile state. And then we set again, continue or terminate, and we set do fill. Now we wait for do fill. I think we don't have a range, so this should be the end, theoretically. So I'm very curious what happens next. We get a do fill signal. Seriously. Why? Apparently we do have a range. Or something else is wrong. Is this thing programmed to be a range? Yeah, pipeline factory reaches the bottom multi-loop while loop, and then went to the top again. So it just continued running. And now we set it to fill. And we run fill again. The only weird thing is that at this point the fill index should be incremented, of course, and I didn't see that happen. So we search for that. Not working. Working. And 1, 2, I think. Yeah. So the first one, and then we get it again here. And I want to grab now all of that, but also, oh, I forgot. Fill index. Yep, fill index was not incremented. Absolutely, totally not. Fill index 0 here, and then we run it. We run again with the same fill index. It makes no sense whatsoever. This one has fill index 1. Why doesn't that one? Oh, that's why. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. Okay, I'm getting it. I'm setting the do fill. We have two characteristics, and then one of the characteristics must have the fill index being incremented, while the other one doesn't, until we get to the end. And then we increment this one. It's like a for loop. This one for loop is on the outside, and this for loop is on the inside. So this one runs to the end, while that stays 0, and then this one begins at 0 again, while we increment that one, and then till they are both at the end. However, I should only run the tasks again when the fill index is changed. So I am mistakenly sending do fill signal to all the tasks, even those whose fill index wasn't changed. That is a problem. So somewhere we're calling signal with do fill, and we shouldn't. Or something close to it. So close? Pretty much. Well, thanks, Omnic. Yeah, this makes it things a whole lot different. So here I'm counting the number of tasks that need the signal. By testing this expression. then just incrementing that. And then we loop again over all the characteristics, testing the exact same expression, and then actually sending the signal. And this that number is being used to detect when they're all done. So here we are waiting until we get the signal characteristics filled, which happens when all the this many characteristics did a callback that they were done filling. But now I realize that that is only necessary the very, very first time. Because after... Oh, that's not true. That's not true. No, of course not. It could be that one of the characteristics gets at the end. Damn it. They are independent, aren't they? Arg. Bad design. Or not. I'm confused now. But okay, that's I'm gonna recharge before I continue. This is annoying. Yeah, it's gonna have to redesign stuff. I mean, the fill index for each characteristic refers to a certain, to a state of mostly vectors that then are used to create a pipeline. So I do need them to do something every time their fill index is being changed. Omnic, yeah, okay. Definitely, if you're disinterested, I'll make sure of it. Usually when I don't stream, it's because I think that nobody will be interested, so. But I think that, so the thing is that, you know, each characteristic prepares a number of vectors. with data in it, and the content of those vectors depend on the fill index that is being set. And then all those vectors of all those characteristics are merged into vectors that then are used to create a pipeline. So, and I want to create a pipeline for each combination of fill indexes that each characteristic run over. So let's say we have two characteristics, and one runs both just run from 0 till 1, inclusive. Then we get 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, and 1, 1. What means that, let's say, first we do 0, 0, that's just the beginning, so they fill whatever they want to fill for the value 0. And then I run, I want to do 0, 1, which means that the characteristic that was already at 0 doesn't have to do anything, because it just filled 0. And the other one is called for fill index 1, so it makes changes to its vectors and we create the next pipeline. But then I want to do 1, 0, and that changes two fill indexes at the same time. So now the first one goes for the first time to the value 1, and it has to change its vertices, sorry, its vectors. But and then the last time it doesn't, because it is still at 1. But the one that changes the fastest goes from 1 till 0, and it already did 0. So I kind of have to cache it, I guess. Whatever it did for the fill index 0, it has to switch back to those values without doing the work again, like recompiling a shader module. I don't want to do that. Yeah, so maybe I need to change every characteristic to cache all the output vectors, and then when it receives a fill index, it must fill something for a fill index it already has. It just puts the cache back. So then the real generation is only done once for each fill index. And secondly, and that was what I first run into just now, is that when a fill index is not changed, I don't even have to send it a signal. This signal is not necessary in that case. But I need to determine in advance what this number is, otherwise, I mean, as soon as I send the first signal, it can already finish. So we send the signal, it immediately starts running in a different thread possibly, and then it decrements that when it finishes. So I don't think I can, I mean, it might become 0 and then I think it's already finished, if you get what I mean. Let's say this loop has to start 5 characteristics, and then this is 5. I signal them all, they start running. Every time they are finished, they decrement this. And when it reaches 0, I know that I'm done, so then I can continue with filled. But if I would increment it in this loop, then what could happen is it is 0, I increment it by 1 because I'm sending a signal. And that immediately results in decrementing it again, which then would make me conclude that I'm already done. So that doesn't work. I cannot send a signal before I have determined the number of signals that I'm going to send. So I have somehow have to figure out how many fill indexes are different from the last time I called it. So that's a change to the pipeline factory. And then yeah, the other change is that characteristics need to cache their the results per fill index. Kind of surprised to have this much work suddenly to do on this, but okay, I'm gonna do something else now because yeah, I don't know. I want to feel more ready for it than I feel right now. So thanks for keeping me company, and I'll be back.